Just a few hours ago, Attorney General Merrick Garland announced that the Department of Justice had filed a lawsuit against Texas for the state's pro-life Senate Bill 8, also known as the Heartbeat Bill. The federal lawsuit comes after a chorus of outrage from the abortion crowd after the U.S. Supreme Court refused to do their bidding and stop the Texas law while the lawsuits against it make their way through the courts. The law is in effect. Let me underscore that. It is in effect, and that means for the first time in 48 years, Texas will remain essentially abortion-free. This has led to abortion appointments being canceled and many lives saved, and that has the left up in arms. Joining me now to discuss this showdown that is taking place between the Biden administration and Texas is the Attorney General of the state of Texas, Ken Paxton. Attorney General Paxton, welcome back to the program.
Well, thanks for having me on. Obviously, a pretty important issue for our day.
Extremely important, as Texas has been leading out on this issue. Have you had a chance to review the suit filed by the federal government?
Not completely, but the part that I have talked to my Solicitor General and others in my office about that's somewhat shocking is it appears they sued the wrong party. We don't enforce this law. So what they really need to do, as was suggested by the Supreme Court, is wait for these individual actions to be filed. If they've got a problem, they can address them then. But we're not the party that enforces any of this. And I don't understand how they can actually enjoin individuals, which they've apparently sued the entire state, everybody in the state. I don't see how they can enjoin an individual from bringing their own lawsuit. That's like shutting the courts down. So, we'll see what happens. We'll be in I think Travis County, which may not be the easiest venue to win in, but that'll all move its way up as time goes on.
I mean, the left obviously going crazy over this because, as we talked about last time you were on, this was very cleverly crafted. I commend those who did it because it is it's very clever in the way it has approached this issue from a new perspective, and it is hard for the left to bat it down. And I'm pretty certain what they're afraid of is that other states are going to follow suit.
Yeah, I think they're also afraid of allowing these lives to go on. They want to get this thing shut down as fast as possible. They, as excited as we are about allowing human life to go forward, the other side is very discouraged by that and wants to shut this down and allow abortions to occur immediately and as fast as possible and as many as possible.
Now, let me ask you a question, General Paxton, because at the same time that the Biden Justice Department is suing to stop this, and they're claiming that you are blocking a constitutional right that women have, at the same time, Nancy Pelosi is talking about trying to codify this into law because they acknowledge this doesn't exist except in the court's opinion. And so they're trying to somehow pass statutes. They're not going to get it through. They're not going to get it through the Senate, probably through the House, but not the Senate. So, I mean, the inconsistency, is this in our Constitution?
Yeah, it is pretty inconsistent. If they really believe that, they don't need a statute to add to it. It's already in the Constitution. So they also know that the precedent made up by the Supreme Court that took away the state's ability to regulate abortion and deal with it in a consistent way. Clearly, they know, too, that the Supreme Court made up the law and they continue to change it and adjust it because it hasn't worked very well. And at the same time, if you look at the Biden administration, they're not following federal law as it relates to immigration and other issues. And yet they want, as they dismiss their own laws, they want to come and regulate laws in Texas, Mississippi, and Georgia on elections. It's just kind of odd. I've never seen the federal government so bent on controlling state law while they're ignoring their own federal laws.
So, General Paxton, what's next? What will be the next step in this progression?
Well, I think we'll either be in court on the merits of this, or, as I would expect, they'll probably file some injunction to try to stop it in Travis County, which would then the court would try to maybe potentially extend it to the entire state. We would quickly appeal that and try to put the state law back into place like it should be, and let the real issue come up when it comes up and be litigated on the merits of whether this law is permitted by the Constitution.
It's amazing. This administration appears to stop at nothing to protect the abortion industry and those on the left that advocate for unrestrained abortion?
Yeah, it's pretty radical to sue the state of Texas right now. It's pretty radical to say you're suing every single person in Texas. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen the federal government so adamant in trying to shut down states for operating, as they should, independently and operating under their own laws. And this administration, if they don't like what you're doing, they are going to come and try to stop you. And that you can see it with the Georgia election laws. You're going to see it with Mississippi abortion laws. You're going to see it with our laws. And if they don't like your law, they're going to come tell you you can't have it, which I think is unconstitutional.
Well, General Paxton, I want to thank you for joining us today. I know you're very busy today in particular. I want to thank you for joining us, but also thank you for leading out among the state attorneys general in fighting many of these examples of overreach by the Biden administration. And I want to thank you for all the work you're doing.
Well, thank you. And we're for sure not going to quit. We know we're right, and we know the Constitution matters, and we're going to defend that.
All right. And I know we'll be talking about that in the days ahead.
Absolutely. Thank you.